putting in some perspective just how long he's been out there.
Yeah, remarkable. Best part of 5 sessions if he gets through it. Australia was sent in yesterday after Pakistan led. Batted most of that second session, batted all of the third session, batted all of today's first session and the second session. Now here he is. I didn't think that would take as long to get through, but when you say it like it's really, isn't it? Yeah. He's batted a very, very long time and looked fantastic doing so.
So Abbas to Khawaja. It's been a fantastic contest. 2 catching mid-wickets. Around the wicket, he delivers. Khawaja put down the track, no is a call. So no slips. We saw earlier that game of cat and mouse that we've reflected on in the earlier session, Louis, where the keeper was up and back. Khawaja dictating terms with Sarfraz Ahmed. Playing so well. Flappable.
Yeah, and he just hasn't been able to extract that same measure of reverse swing with this slightly newer ball. Getting into its 30, am I doing my maths right there? 38th over, yeah.
Abbas on the approach and bowling, Khawaja. It's full through mid-wicket. In the air for a moment, which caused the man at the closer of the 2 wicket positions to throw his hands up, but it ended up at deep mid-wicket for a single. Khawaja is 138. And he's, it is a drop catch.
He's a deep short leg, isn't he? He's got a helmet on. He's not in a short leg traditional position right up there. He's just a little at the back, but close enough that he needs a helmet. And Khawaja just flicked it right off his legs, and I think he got a hand sprawling away to over the top of his head.
I wouldn't mind seeing a closer replay on the fielder, but it looked on that one we saw on our monitor that, I mean, we're talking a quarter chance.
Yeah.
But a drop catch or get another replay. A big moment in this final session. It means that Tim Paine's back on strike. With Mohamed Abbas, 3 men catching in front of the wicket. The gully. Abbas bowls to Paine. Out block hole. Squeeze. Fielder at square leg. Take 1, they return 2. That was far away, slipping Paine for 5 is the score.
Field that Pakistan have got that man at even the 2 men catching on the wicket. There's a 3rd one straight wicket. The man on the off side so straight. Mohamed Abbas is nearly hitting him in his follow through.
This is getting better by the minute on Wisdom.com Test Match Cricket. Watching a replay of the previous delivery. Serious reverse swing now. So it's taken a while for this second new ball to go, but we can declare it. It is going. So a new challenge for Australia. Can they see out Mohamed Abbas? Maybe he'll bowl 6 overs from this end now, and a handful later. Tim Paine, the man down the business end. Abbas bowls to him and he defends. A ball short of a length back to the bowler. Back to that fielder you mentioned before, Louis, who... watching it then, he pretty much is the follow through of Abbas. I don't think he minds too much. They'll persevere.
If it gets him a wicket, he'll be very happy. But I know there are some bowlers who Mohamed Abbas has got quite a straight follow through without running on the pitch, which you can't do, of course. But I know some bowlers. I'm thinking back to Jeff Thompson and those kind of guys who just kind of skirt off to the side. He would find himself up that bloke's backside, I think.
Abbas bowls here to Tim Paine, who defends again to cover. So Paine is getting right up here, taking no risk. Such a customer, such an experienced campaigner. Always had to fight through to get back into this team, to recover from injury, the unexpected elevation to the captaincy. Received his blazer last week as the 46th captain of Australia. If he could lead this side to parity by the close and walk off having drawn this match,
ولو شاء الله ما قتلوا ولكن الله يفعل ما يريد.
Tim Paine is batting a long way out of his crease. His back foot is probably a foot outside the popping crease.
Abbas bowls to Paine again, inside edge. Just turned around the corner late. He played it well in the end. Paine ball was hooping back towards his pads. That's over. He's looking good. He'll be a handful. Has been the whole way through the test. The score is 3-23-5. 35 wide. 138. 22 overs remaining. That's the minimum amount of overs remaining. And with that, I'll leave the call with Louis Cameron, and I'll welcome back Jeff Lemon.
Absolutely exciting Test cricket this is. There are a few question marks over this pitch earlier in the game. Was it good for Test cricket? I think the answer is a resounding yes. This is an absolutely captivating contest. It's taken a while to kind of unfold, and I mean, it makes Australia's 10 for 60, Jeff, in the first innings look all the more inexplicable, as I was just saying to you off air before. How on earth did they lose 10 on a pitch that's still on day 5 is not that bad for batting on?
Oh, boring, straightforward, 3-0. Oh, you look cricket with these flat wickets. This test, it is on. It is on, Louis. Both results are absolutely on. 22 overs remaining for Pakistan to bowl. All they need is a wicket. If they take one, they can absolutely win this test match. They could win it in a few overs. If they get a roll, Australia could absolutely draw this game. 132 deliveries remaining in the match. I don't think Pakistan are going to rush through their overs quickly enough to add any more. They're certainly not hurrying now, but a change in the bowling, and it is Bill Seif, the hero of the first innings. 6 for 36 he took. Incredibly knocked over just about every left-hander Australia had. He hasn't taken a wicket in the second innings. Less bounce. He's going to be bowling now to Tim Paine. Those from the sail canopies are halfway across the pitch, so Bilal will be bowled out of shade and into sunlight, where Tim Paine forward defence from the Australian captain to cover. Tick off one more ball from that countdown clock. 131 deliveries.
That's good footmarks to bowl into Bilal, who's just creating a little bit outside Payne's off stump.
Here he goes again, Paine striding forward, pushing it back to the bowl, and they run. There are footmarks, but it's not as bad as it could be. You've seen fifth-day pitches in the UAE before that really fall apart. This one has. It's still reasonable for batting on. As Bilal bowled Paine on the back foot, struck on the pad, huge appeal, and not out, says umpire Kettleborough. Although he remains staring at Paine, he doesn't look down at his clicker in the way that he does when he's completely discounted an appeal, so he was obviously thinking about it quite closely. Are they going to go upstairs? Sarfraz chats. Everybody's around. T-Bone, they are going upstairs. Review. T-Paine, T-Bone. If T-Paine gets T-boned by review. 323 for 5 is the Australian score. Will the 6th wicket fall? Front foot is good. Bilal Asif, an off spinner over the wicket, shouldn't overstep. Umpire Sundaraman Ravi in the third umpire's box. Or pitch just on, comes in, and it's a big inside edge. He's absolutely flogged into his. Pakistan have now been both their review. They kept it previously because it was an umpire's call in terms of there was a sliver of the ball in so last one from Harris Sohail, LBW appeal, but they're not going to keep this one. I don't think you get the ultra edge really, do you, when it's clearly hit that. But we're looking at nonetheless. There is the disturbance on the ultra edge as the ball passes at.
He had a wry smile after that, Tim Paine. As soon as they pulled the old T-bone, as he called it, he just had this little smile like, yep, taking your last review. That's a little win for us if we get a close one.
A little tip in Australia's favour. So Tim Paine survives. 323 for 5. No reviews for Pakistan. Bilal Asif bowls on middle stump. Turned away in the air. Might have been mostly off the pad. I'm not sure if he got an inside edge to that one as well. Away to the left side. Paine survives one more ball. When you said rice mile, I said rice mile. So I was like, is that a stretch road that has a lot of rice field? Welcome to Rice Mile. But not to be. Bilal Asif pitches full. Paine forward in defence. No run.
Rice Mile. Rice Mile.
The Rice Mile.
Work on not running my words together so much, but good bowling from Asif, getting some good bounce outside that off stump.
Paine advances, drives back to the bowler who throws the stumps down. That was interesting. Paine had already done a U-turn and got back in at Bilal Asif, perhaps venting a bit of frustration that or maybe just trying to keep the Australian on his toes. He snatches his equipment back from the umpire and stalks off. It's the end of another 21 remaining. 3:23 for 5. Australia have batted 119 overs. Whatever happens here, this is a magnificent fourth performance. Any team making 300 in the fourth innings has done well. It doesn't happen very often. Only been about, in terms of run chases, there are only about 10 successful chases over 350. So teams even making this many in the fourth doesn't much. But Australia have put this together. They might want to have another session if they could. See if they could knock off the runs.
Bit of batting practice. This is where Sarfaraz Ahmed really needs to think about how he uses his bowlers. So Mohammad Abbas has bowled 22 overs in this innings. He's probably their trump card. He's probably looked their most dangerous bowler. I know Yasir Shah's had his moments today. Bilal Azif's probably not quite been on his game, and Wahab Riaz has, he's been wayward. So you think Mohammad Abbas maybe has an over or two left in him here, and then maybe you give him one last burst.
He has to be bowling at one end at the death if they're trying to pick up those wickets. He bowls to Khawaja but strays onto the leg stump. He's easily picked off down to deep fine leg for a single. 324 for 5. So Australia need 139 more to win. They won't make those, but they've got 20 and a bit overs to survive. This is already Tim Paine's third longest innings. Both of his longer ones were in India. 196 balls and 133 balls. This innings, he's faced 120. So those previous knocks were in 2010 when he had just come into the team, but showed that he hasn't lost the knack of batting in these conditions. Strange for a Tasmanian. Not a lot of dust bowls in the Apple Isle. Mohammad Abbas over the wicket to Paine, full forward, defended to short straight mid off. No run. He's dealt with that confidently enough. So they've got those roadblock characters in for Abbas, 2 catching mid wickets, and then the short straight mid off, then a regulation mid off, then a cover and a gully and a mid on and a square leg. Not sure if you really need the mid on when you've got the 2 short mid wickets, but Sarfaraz has been a strange mix of attack and defence today. Fine leg the other fieldsman. Mohammad Abbas. Full to Paine, who stretches forward and defends. No run. Ticking them off one by one.
It's traditional Test cricket, isn't it? I mean, Tim Paine blocking back ball after ball after ball. He's determined as anything just to see it through. Khawaja's probably getting a little easier in terms of getting off strike. He's going to tick over the runs, but Tim Paine is very happy just to see the ball blocked back down the wicket.
The fact that Khawaja's still able to run a single is remarkable. The fact that he's still on his feet is remarkable. He's been out there this whole match basically.
Well, I wonder how much of the game he spent off the ground, because when he got out in the
1 hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, have you already covered this?
We calculated it. Andrew Donaldson ran the numbers back there. So during Australia's batting collapse after he got out, he spent not even a full session off the ground, and aside from that, he's been fielding at gully or opening the batting.
Remarkable.
Incredible performance.
In 40-degree heat as well. It says a lot about his fitness.
A delay there while Mohammad Abbas cleaned out his spikes. He's finally got the footwear operational, and he's striding in again. Outside the off stump, left alone by Paine. Enough width there that he didn't have to bother with that ball. Very, very happy with that. And umpire's just having a look at the landing zone for Mohammad Abbas. Umpire Illingworth there, just kicking at the traces, as it were.
If it was an infraction on that front, he could very easily blame that man we were talking about just before, standing at a ridiculously short straight mid off.
Absolutely.
He can't follow through off the pitch because there's a bloke, right near the
They could become very intimately acquainted if something goes a bit wrong here. Mohammad Abbas, full outside the off stump. Paine dives to cover. No is the call. Clear. Well, they had one hairy moment where Tim Paine very nearly ran out Usman Khawaja, and if you're the captain of the Australian team trying to hold it together and you ran out the bloke who's just faced 300 balls, would not have gone well. Tim Paine struggled to mid-off and set for a run without actually calling, just went for it. Khawaja on the movement, and then Tim Paine sent him back. Khawaja had to U-turn. Azhar Ali at mid-off, had time to steady and throw the stumps down, and he missed.
He didn't really call yes, Tim Payne, did he? It was a late no. It was a hit the ball.
It was a late after he'd taken 3 paces down the wicket.
Yes.
He took off for the run and then abandoned it. Abbas to Payne, outside the off stump and left alone. Very happy with that is Tim Payne. Bowl there all day long if you would like, sir, he says. 324 for 5 after 120 overs. Oh, you're on Wisdom.com Test Cricket and things are getting tight. We've got 20 overs to go. A mere T20 innings. 120 deliveries between Australia and a draw. They've got 5 wickets in hand, but if one of those wickets fall, the rest could follow in a hurry, given the bowling resources Pakistan have at their disposal. It is getting tense. This session brought to you by ProAtar, the new coaching app that connects you with the biggest name in cricket. So if you want to be able to bat like Usman Khawaja and Tim R, look for ProAtar, P-O-A-T-A-R is the spelling. Look for it in the App Store or the Android equivalent, and connect yourself with plenty of former cricketing internationals who can help you improve your game directly, in direct communication with them, which is nice. Bilal Asif, he might be on ProAtar in a couple of years' time. 6 for in the first innings. Lobs one down on the middle stump. Khawaja sweeps and doesn't hit it very well. Thick bottom edge away to mid-wicket to run. It's looked much better on the reverse than the conventional sweep in this innings. I know I've kept saying it, but I think he's mucked up 1 reverse and he's mucked up about half of his conventionals. Bilal tries again. Khawaja goes back this time and defends. Silly mid-off picks up.
I wonder if he's picking, so with as if spinning the ball towards the offside, that's where the majority of the fielders are. When he's facing Asir Shah from around the wicket, the majority of his fielders are on the leg side, obviously, because he's spinning it that way. I wonder if he's thinking of that when he plays the shot.
Bilal to Khawaja, driving away along the line of point. Opened the blade, gets a single. He's done that so well today, just ticked over. Got off strike, he's up to 140. Tim Payne, 35 not out on strike. This would just about Khawaja's high score, wouldn't it? He's made 145 twice in Test cricket. The 170 of 145. Forward defensive. Tim Payne has a little one up on the off stump. Yeah, 174. So he probably won't be threatening that. The runs aren't needed. But he's been out on 145 twice, so he's got to make sure that doesn't happen again. Bilal Asif to Tim Payne, defending. Comfortably enough. Ball ends up in the offside.
5 for 325. You know what the significance of 325 in this Test match has been so far, that number?
Has that been the amount that Australia trailed by on days 3 and days 4?
Correct.
Lobbed down by Bilal Asif, last ball of the over. Inside edge, squeezed away on the onside. They scuttled through for a single because it got past the short leg fieldsman, and Mohamed Abbas at square leg wasn't quite paying attention. 326 for 5. Payne 36, Khawaja 140, 19 overs left in the display. It's on. It is on.
Yep, I can confirm. It is. It's gee, what a day it's been. It's who would have thought we'd be sitting in this position? Adam Collins said at the start of the day, "Should dare to dream," and it was a good call.
I was thinking early lunch. I thought we'd be out of here.
You're always thinking early lunch.
I am always thinking early lunch. But I wasn't lusting after it. I just assumed that's what would happen. And yet here we are. All those hours later, we've had a full Test match. And what a Test match for Wisdom.com. This is our first Test match broadcast that we've done through the Great Wisdom website. And the first time we've put together a service and an offering like this, and what a contest we've been delivered. What a privilege it is to call Test cricket, and what a privilege it is to have all of you listening in. We're extremely grateful. We fully appreciate it. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, jump on Twitter. You can tweet at Wisdom Cricket, or you can look for myself, Jeff Lemon, or my co-caller Louis Cannon, or Adam Collins. Search us up. You should find us eventually. Start of a new over. Mohamed Abbas, he's continuing outside the off stump. right on the spot. Tim Payne drives to mid-off, no run. Abbas 3 for 44 now. He took them all last night in a hurry. 3 for none in that spell. Finch, Marsh. But he hasn't been able to add to the tally today.
I'd love to see a pitch map of Mohamed Abbas in this game. He would not have strayed too far from the middle of off stump and the middle of leg stump, I reckon.
It would be the size of a fruit bowl, maybe. It'd be
size of the plate that our producer was eating a bit of cake off as I was coming in.
Here he comes, just outside the off stump, in the channel, wanting Payne to fish. Just wanting to threaten the off stump, but Payne trusts his judgment and leaves. Interesting. Didn't seem to be any on that, but if that one maybe just went away a touch.
I think it's that one he tries to make a goal quite go, but it almost doesn't matter. In setting up in, expecting the ball to be angling at the stumps all the time. If you just get one to hold it, that's where you might get the little faint edge to the keeper or that little gully third slip fielder there at the moment.
Abbas spins on his heels. Back in past umpire Worth now.